What's up friends, Chook here and welcome back to Beat Heroes. So this is going to be a quick short video this time, and we're going to be talking about all of the raids and what total score you need to get into each raid and do it preferably on heroic on auto, and what layout you want for each raid as well. So shout out has to go to my guildie and friend Siranin here, as we kind of had a chat recently about particularly the first 4 raids, and we went through our memory bank and tried to remember what kind of total score you needed and what layouts we used to do those raids. And as a lot of the people that watch my videos are beginners to this game, I thought it would be helpful and handy to know, for you guys to know what kind of total score you need to get into each raid and what kind of loadout you need as well. Now, this is all subject to what kind of people you have on your friends list, what kind of level friends you have on your friends list. So majority of people that have asked me to put me on their friends list, I've done so. And there's a few that are still waiting on the waiting list, and I'm waiting for people to become inactive to get rid of them and add more people. So most of you will have me on your friends list. So for the first couple of raids, that will be quite handy, having a level 240. But if you have higher level friends, or you have friends with legendary accessories and pets, that will change what the information I'm about to give you quite significantly. And if you have, legendary accessory and pets, even with people your level, that will still change these total scores and everything significantly, as they're a massive pro to your team and help more than people realize, I think. So here we go. Let's start with raid 1. So with raid 1, again, this is all trying to do on heroic on auto as much as we can. So for raid 1, you want anywhere from around 2.833k to 4k-ish. You should be able to do it well and truly by then. Maybe even less, again, depending on who your friends are and what they have equipped and everything. But the layout for that is you don't really need a tank. You could probably just do it with 5 DPS. But if you wanted to and you were struggling a little bit with it, just put a tank at the front and then 4 DPS behind. So raid 1's easy. Raid 2, anywhere from kind of like 5.5k to 7k. Again, could be lower depending on who you have and what they have equipped. But the layout for that is you want a tank at the front, and you want a tank at the back, and you want 3 DPS in the middle. Now, the reason you want a tank at the back is Kaleido, the boss, has a move where he hits the very back target. So if you have your DPS back there, he's likely going to one-shot it. But if you have a tank back there, they're more likely to survive that hit and then be healed up by the next time Kaleido gets around to doing that hit. So yeah, tank, DPS, 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 and then tank. Raid 3, looking at about 7k to 9k around there. And you want 2 tanks at the front and 3 DPS in the back. Now, whenever I'm saying DPS here, it could be DPS or a healer. It doesn't really matter. I mean, a healer is just a DPS with a staff. It's particularly early game where there's no set pieces yet that give you pluses to healing and stuff. So if you have a staff or a friend with a staff, technically, they're a healer because they can heal. They're just as good as DPS. So raid 3, tank, tank, DPS, 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 with 7k to 9k-ish range. Raid 4, we're looking at kind of 9k to 10.5k, somewhere around there. And you want a tank, and then a tank at the front, a tank at the back, and 3 DPS in the middle. Preferably, if you could get a healer in there, that would be good. So say you went like tank, DPS, healer, DPS, and then a tank at the back. That would be ideal. You can also use a bait tank in the back. You want a proper tank at the front, but you could use a bait tank in the back. Now, for people that aren't aware of what a bait tank is, I've mentioned in a previous video, but I'll go through it quickly. Say that I had legendary, just say I had a defensive accessory here that was like, plus 20% chance to block or something. And then I had like a better, tanking healing pet that activated when I got hit, not when I hit an enemy. So say I had like a tanking setup, but I put my health down to say 500 and I put those extra points into my power. So I looked like I had more of a DPS layout as far as stats go, but my accessory and my pet and all my runes are still all tank. So this would be, I would have a redirect on here. I would have, you know, block or evade or redirect or whatever runes in here. So full tanking runes and enchants and everything. Tanking accessory, tanking pet, but with DPS stats. So what that means is you will probably be, with the bait tank will probably be the lowest HP of your party. And what that means is in Raid 4, there are the flying robots, and they attack the lowest HP target. And they can often one-shot a DPS. So if you have a bait tank in there, he will be the lowest HP target. Those robots will attack him. And even though he has lower health than everybody, he still has all his mitigation from all these defensive runes and enchants and pet and accessory and everything like that. So he's going to take way less damage. So say he's got 500 health and a DPS had 500 health. The robots might one-shot the DPS, but they might hit the bait tank and it might only do 200 damage instead because of all his mitigation. So that's what a bait tank is. So to go over Raid 4 again, you're looking at anywhere from kind of like 8.5, 9 to 10, 11k, somewhere around there. And you want a tank, a DPS, a healer, a DPS, and a bait tank or tank in the back. That's like the ideal setup. And here's Sarenin now, who was helping me with all this information. And then Raid 5, I have to say I'm not sure. I'm not quite up to Raid 5 Heroic yet. I'm still doing hard. But I believe it's something along the lines of a tank, a bait tank in the second slot, and then you definitely want a healer. It might be tank, bait, DPS, healer, tank, maybe? Or it might just be tank, bait, DPS, healer, DPS. I'm not sure. I can't tell you for Raid 5 because I'm not there yet. But for the first 4 raids, hopefully that has helped you out. If you are looking to get into the next tier of raid up from where you are now, hopefully that's given you a little bit of information on what kind of total score you need for your team to be and what kind of people you need for that raid. You know, how many tanks you need, how many DPS, healers, all the rest of it. So just a quick little video with some information on raids and total score and layouts. Hopefully you found that useful. If you did, as always, let me know. But yeah, hopefully that helps. Either way, that's it. As always, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.